You know, this is what every single last king needs to understand. As you can clearly see, I'm in the cut. I'm in my car, you feel me? 2017 Kia Sportage at Hofstra University. Just sitting in the car, and I have to spit. I have to, I have to spit the verses, you feel me? I got to go hard, But anyway, in this video, I'm going to discuss why so many niggas, and I don't know if I can say the N-word, you feel me? I don't know if that's a curse or not, because I heard YouTube cracking down on that, but so many guys, why so many guys, are so critical of women, why so many guys basically hate women nowadays. And, like I said, bro, understanding some people's why, to understand somebody, you first have to understand their why. And by understanding their why, you can understand so much about a person by understanding their why, So by knowing that why, it reveals a lot about them, and that's why I ask everybody to do a deep dive into themselves. Why do you do what you do? It reveals so much about you. It'll reveal whether or not life happens to you or by you. If you're nothing more than a victim of yourself, which we all inherently are. But anyway, the reason for this is because, first of all, a lot of guys, they've been hurt by girls, you feel me? It's a lot of unhealed trauma. It's a lot of unhealed heartbreak, and, it's obvious, you take that out on girls that remind you of that girl or those girls that hurt you, you feel me? That's one reason. The second reason also is sexual frustration. A lot of guys, well, I want to say a lot, cause I don't freaking know, but I know some guys, they want to crack, you feel me? They got that desire, you feel me? They got that desire, and, they want to crack. They're sexually attracted to those type of girls, but those girls, either they're hard to manage, they're hard to get along with, they're frustrating to deal with, or those girls just straight up won't let them. And that comes out in resentment and anger. And this is just such obvious psychology, you feel me? But there is a deeper reason that I want to get to. And the deeper reason why a lot of guys are so critical and, they despise women, because this isn't a woman hating channel. I'm not on that freaking stuff. And the reason is, at the end of the day, they fear woman's power. And I cannot cap, women actually do have a lot of power, bro. Like she's literally responsible, even though we got technology now, she's literally responsible on whether or not you're going to continue your blood lineage. She has to reproduce with you. You feel me? She has to reproduce with you. And, not only that, women are, like I said, they're the gatekeepers of all of that. They're the gatekeepers of that. And, they're a source of validation. Society puts emphasis on whether or not you can get girls or not, because it ties into capitalism as well. They make money from relationships and weddings and stuff like that, so of course they're going to put emphasis on you getting with a girl and stuff like that, so you can make them more money. This is also freaking, at least it's obvious to me, I be thinking about this stuff all the time. I just be deep thinking. So women have a lot of power, and a lot of guys, they fear that power, they envious of that power, because at the end of the day, they're really powerless against that power. So it's really a feeling of powerlessness, why they are so critical, why they're so angry, and why it comes across as hatred of women. But really, it's really feelings of powerlessness. At the end of the day, all of what I said, it all really comes down to the core truth of they feel powerless against these girls. They feel powerless against them. So what they're doing is an attempt to reclaim their power. And, it really goes so deep, bro. It goes so freaking deep. It goes so deep. But that is the core reason why a lot of guys hate women, bro. It's really a feeling of powerlessness. So it's like what I always say, you have to ask your own why. Why do you do what you do? And just simply do a deep dive into yourself.